For decades, the Republican Party has been chipping away at the foundation of our democracy. They use broken rules like the filibuster and the Electoral College to control the White House and Congress, even when they win fewer votes. The only real solution now is to expand the Supreme Court.
That is our constitutional prerogative.
The Constitution gives Congress the authority to change the size of the Supreme Court, and Congress has used that authority 7 times before.
Congress has already changed the size of the Supreme Court 7 times before.
The Republican Judicial Reform Organization wrote a paper urging court expansion a couple of years ago when they thought they would need to expand the courts in order to preserve their control over it.
Expansion is actually the only way.
So hold that thought on that only way thing. Why don't we look to Joe Biden? Luckily, our future presidential nominee, who's going to be making the decisions on this very matter.
I mean, I think some of your former Senate colleagues on the Judiciary Committee would go as far as to say that it's anti-democratic. Do you agree with that?
Well, you know, if I say it's anti-democratic, then it gets
in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, great flippin' start, filling me with inspiration and faith, Joe. Thanks.
Well, and to that point, Roe and Casey are decided with justices appointed by Democrats and Republicans. Yes. And these opinions that land outside the range of public opinion in our country are super conservative majority decisions. They're 6-3 on Dobbs. They're 6-3 on affirmative action. Does it require, I mean, does your love and reverence for our institutions make you do a hard thing and look at shaking up the institutions? Will you look at court reform again?
Well, I did look at here's 2 things. Before I got elected, while I put together a group of constitutional scholars to try to expand the court, which I think is a mistake after all the judgment was that didn't make sense because it can become so politicized in the future.
Because it can become so politicized in the future, you say, huh, Joe? We already know that Republicans were looking at doing it themselves when they saw a future with them losing their majority. We already know for a fact that if they lose the majority, they will pull this very same thing. They will politicize the shit out of it. If there's one thing we know about Republicans, they are not afraid of politicizing anything if it gets in the way of what they want. And if there's one thing they want more than anything, it's a supermajority in the Supreme Court. So if we are going to take it away, even on legal merits, they will pull that legal rug right out from under us illegally. They will change the rules the very fucking next day. If you really think they won't, you must be...
And I think maybe it's just the optimist in me.
Fuck!
Do you worry that without court reform, this conservative majority is too young and too conservative, that they might do too much harm?
Well, I think they may do too much harm, but
what, motherfucker? Shit! Fuck! Fuck, we're stuck with them, dude. We're stuck. And y'all are so tribalistic. You guys are jumping behind this motherfucker because it's so anti-Trump. If you're not pro-Biden, you're pro-Trump. No, motherfucker, I'm pro-me.
I think if we start the process of trying to expand the court, we're going to politicize it maybe forever in a way that is not healthy.
That you can't get back.
That you can't get back.
You know you fucked up, Woody, don't you?
No, that is. You changing diapers?